Hi, this is Dr. Stephen with Outclick Magazine. Today we want to bring to you Brett Karlin, who is the artistic director and conductor of our own Master Chorale of South Florida. Brett, welcome to the program.
Hey, Steven, how's it going? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It's great to talk to you. We were chatting earlier about the changes and how Master Chorale has obviously been affected by COVID this year. I've been to your concerts and shows. They are so amazing. You have a large choir on stage. You bring in orchestral instruments. Sometimes you crank up the raffati there at the church. But I've already talked too much. Tell me about Master Chorale South Florida for someone who maybe have not had the honor privilege of coming to your shows.
Yeah, so the Master Chorale of South Florida is a professional symphony chorus that essentially performs in the Tri-County area. Usually our Friday evening performances are in Broward County or Fort Lauderdale, Saturday evening in Miami-Dade County, and then Sunday afternoon matinees in Boca Raton. So we're a 136 voiced all adult professional symphony chorus, and we perform generally large choral orchestra masterworks, pieces like Brahms' Requiem, Handel's Messiah, Mozart's Requiem, Mendelssohn Elijah, but then we'll usually or traditionally do a couple of pops concerts, usually some sort of a holiday pops concerts like the one that we're going to be doing this upcoming season, and then we'll also do a Broadway pop series as well, usually once a year or once every other year. So it's a professional symphony chorus of a huge number of musicians, all of which are local to the South Florida area, and we perform some pretty great music.
The concerts are amazing to see the large choir on stage. We were chatting earlier. You are the artistic director and the conductor. Tell people about your dual role and how what your responsibility is with the group, Brett.
The terms or titles artistic director and conductor just imply kind of two general things. One is artistic director, I'm in charge or expected to lead the organization throughout artistic growth and kind of a general arc or direction for what type of organization we need to be. And then, of course, the second title, conductor, literally implies that I am the cheerleader, I am the hand waver who, although makes no aural contribution during a concert, meaning I am silent during that entire program, I'm a conduit of emotional energy in charge of the tempo, size, dynamic, articulation of the piece. So that's just a breakdown of those terms if anyone's kind of unfamiliar with them or kind of sees them sees them in programs and isn't really quite too clear on what the roles mean.
One of the things I do appreciate, though, in the concerts is you give some history and some lesson about each of the or some of the pieces that you do, and educate the audiences about some of the history of the composers or the actual pieces. So you bring a lot of well, in churches we call it hymnology, but you bring a lot of knowledge about the pieces to the concert. So I think that's interesting how you bring that as the conductor of the show. You've got an online program. We called this before curriculum of measure by measure, where you're doing a lot of online teaching, but your musicality knowledge is very in depth, Brett. So I appreciate how you bring that to the concerts.
Well, that's really sweet, Stephen. I appreciate that. That's also extraordinarily important to me. I always kind of think of them, I usually don't use the term lectures because that can sometimes be a little off-putting to some audience members. So I usually end up calling it a guided tour. And the idea is that before we play like a 50-minute straight work that's through composed or a multi-movement work like a large symphony or a large oratorio that could sometimes last 2 hours, what I will do at the top of the concert is talk through the piece with the audience and then have the orchestra and choir and sometimes soloist demonstrate little tidbits. So they'll perform 8 measures or just about 15 seconds of a piece, and I'll explain what to be listening for, why the composer scored it that way, what the text means, what the trumpet represents, any number of things. And I find that generally it leads to a far more rewarding experience for the audience member. They don't just kind of sit there for the 2 hours and get performed at, but instead they join us and kind of become part of the performance, which is a goal of mine.
It's a lot deeper understanding of the music and the pieces and the measure by measure and understanding. I enjoy the concerts, and I consider myself slightly educated on music, but I always pick up something from each of those. You have an upcoming performance November 20th, 2020 with tell us about your upcoming performance, Brent. I'll let you tell about it.
Yeah, okay, so it's this week, and it's without a doubt the thing I am most excited about this season. 2020 can't get me down when this project is happening, truly. There's a wonderful composer who's based in Minneapolis, and he's a Minnesota-based composer. His name is Jake Runestad. And Jake Runestad is an extraordinary musician, extraordinary composer, and he also happens to be one of the kindest, most humble, sweetest humans to work with as well. So, like 2 or 3 years ago, Master Chorale of South Florida contracted Jake for a brand new choral commission. So we contracted him 2 to 3 years ago because he is so wildly popular and busy, we had to get on his calendar that early. So then Jake wrote a piece for us called As Long As We Are Here. It's scored for mixed SATB chorus, strings, and piano, and he delivered the piece to us right at the beginning of 2020 in January. We were supposed to perform this piece at the Chorus America conference this summer in June. That, of course, just passed and obviously was canceled. So what we ended up doing was we pivoted, and instead of doing a premiere that just involved the Master Chorale of South Florida, we opened up our choir to become a virtual ensemble that could accommodate anyone in the world with internet access. And we were joined by 387 singers from over 5 countries and 30 states around this country. And now we will be premiering this work virtually with all of these singers this upcoming Friday, November 20th at 7:30 p.m. The event, the live stream, is rather short. The piece is about 6 minutes, so we're going to be talking with the composer a little bit. I'll say a few words, we'll watch it, we'll kind of recap, and then it'll end. But it's going to be an awesome event and such a beautiful piece.
So just to recap, this was a piece written for Master Chorale. You all commissioned him to write it, that he wrote for you. And this is going to be a live, not live, but going to be a premiere this coming Saturday, November 20th, 2020. Because I always say people watch the video in 5 years. They want to know what year it is.
Sure, I can appreciate that.
Yeah, it's going to be on your YouTube site. I'm going to have Arthur go ahead and click the link to the live stream so people can see that as well. Brett, is it going to be available after Saturday as well, or is it only the Saturday?
No, so it'll be available. It's actually November 20th is Friday, so it's this
Friday.
Friday.
Sorry about that.
No problem at all. And then following that, that'll be a special kind of live stream event that will be available for a few days. They can just click the same link. It'll be up there. And then we'll actually have kind of the MP3 and full piece available for download shortly after that.
Okay. What are the words to the song? Is there a message behind the song that it was commissioned for?
Yeah. So the piece actually.
Are you allowed to tell that yet too? Because it's brand new. Are you allowed to tell that? Maybe I'm asking.
Yeah. No, it's not. I mean, this isn't a national secret or anything like that. Absolutely.
Okay.
So the piece is titled "As Long As We Are Here."
Okay.
And it's an original text that was written by a librettist named Todd Boss. And Todd Boss is also just a unique human who is extraordinarily intelligent, thoughtful, creative, and again, just really kind, really funny, kind of honest, humble human being. And so he wrote this piece, and it's inspired by a text, but he wrote an original response to a letter that was written by a German author. And his original text is called A Prayer for Non-Believers. And in this text, it explores the idea that if we are earthbound, and while earthbound, we spend all of our time thinking about God and the divine and praying to be accepted into heaven, that it in some way cheapens or shortens the beauty and miraculous life that we actually live here on earth. So it isn't actually a prayer that tries to discourage people from believing in heaven or God. That's not the message. The message is, while we are here on this planet, we ought be present in the moment and with each other do good, noble, and beautiful things that we can enjoy and celebrate. It is an extraordinary message that resonates with me personally. In a very significant way. I'm even finding that I'm having trouble articulating it. It is an exquisite text that is set to music in a way that heightens the emotionality of the text to a level that is, I know I'm doing a lot of Conductor talk right now. It's an awesome piece.
But what an awesome message also during this time. While we are here, I think during COVID, we've all had a realization of life is short. Whatever we have can be taken so quickly that things can change in an instant, as it did back in March. And so, this piece, although maybe has not going to be performed as you had envisioned it, it will spread to so many people across the globe. You've influenced so many people, as you've said, globally by this message. And while we are here to enjoy the life that we have and to make that joy and to spread that joy, it sounds like a really amazing message, Brett, that the Master Chorale of South Florida is going to bring to people to South Florida and to around the globe.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to be honest with you. Jake and Todd are the genesis of this piece, of this repertoire. And in fact, Jake, the composer, is also a choral conductor, so he's actually conducting this piece. But you may not actually see it because he conducts in a pre-recorded video that the singers then watch and sing along to at home, and then a production company layers all of these virtual tracks together to create a sound, a product, and a performance that appears as though they're singing it all in the same room. So I want to be clear. I'm really proud that the Master Chorale is an organization that took a risk to commission a new piece and do this kind of unknown project where it was a virtual world premiere, but the actual genesis of the emotional message and intent behind the piece is absolutely Jake and Todd's. They're the reason that we did the project, because we felt so strongly about the source material that they provided, which is just thoughtful and beautiful and cool and just really excellent.
One of the conversations we've had with all of our arts partners is this altruistic motive behind what so many of them are doing. We just finished with the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida. We've just had a partnership with the Arts Center, and so much has been unearthed with the altruistic motives of the groups to really be change agents in our society. And really, this is exciting to see the Master Chorale is very much in line with all of those with so many people. So your next upcoming performance for the holidays is December 12th, 2020, Home for the Holidays. If you want to tell us about that, Brett. And Arthur's going to pull up the website so we can show the ticket information.
Yeah, of course. So this event was inspired by a couple of holiday fundraising events that the Master Chorale has hosted. Last year, we did our holiday soiree that was in the Tower Club in downtown Fort Lauderdale on the evening of the boat parade. And so this upcoming year, we're of course calling it Home for the Holidays because unfortunately, we will not be able to gather in person. But we will have a live stream event that'll last about an hour or so, Saturday, December 12th at 7 p.m. We'll be doing some virtual choir world premieres of Carol of the Bells, a really beautiful Hanukkah song called Sevivon, as well as a wonderful arrangement of White Christmas, and we'll also be featuring two soloists singing Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas and O Holy Night. So it'll be a really wonderful evening of live streamed music, and it will certainly be helpful to the Master Chorale. And during a very difficult time, I'm sure that your listeners and watchers can appreciate how important some fundraising events are for arts organizations during this season.
One of the things I was in a little bit of a panic over was there was not going to be any holiday concerts. And I was in a little panic because the holiday music is so important to me. And we just talked with the Gay Men's Chorus of their drive-in that's coming up then in November. So I'm excited that you all, the Master Chorale, are doing this as well. This is December 12th, 2020. So we're going to put that back up again for people to buy tickets and online. I love where you put the location was your couch, your dining room table, or wherever you are. I love that as the location. So Carol of the Bells is one of my favorite pieces. I used to play handbells. And so Carol of the Bells is obviously one that we did every holiday season.
Sure.
So we look for your couch, your kitchen table, or wherever you are.
What's your favorite Christmas carol, Stephen?
Joy to the World. Joy to the World.
Okay.
And I can play it in D or C. It's one of the few I can play from memory without music because I do not play without music.
Well, but it's literally just a major scale. It's 1, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. So it's just, anyway. I'm O Come All Ye Faithful. I love An Angels We Have Heard on High. I love Hark the Herald. Those are probably my top three. It's really hard for me to choose between those three. Once in Royal David City. What a wonderful piece and wonderful tradition for the Lessons of Carol service, of course, at King's College, Cambridge.
Mm. Angels We Have Heard on High is my other favorite for Christmas. Last year, I put together a lessons in carols at First United Methodist when I was organist there, and I was so proud of that service. It was a beautiful service, and I pulled out all of these old cantatas. They were just this amazing music from the library and put it together. It was a really beautiful service, and I had a packed choir, and I thought, Brett, you would have been proud of me back then.
Nice. Awesome.
Would have been proud of me. We'll need to collaborate on a project. We'll have to do some kind of virtual next year after all this mess is over. We'll have to do a good old fashioned Christmas carol sing.
I would like to RSVP as pending.
That would be good. That would be good. That would be good. Well, Brett, you're always a joy to talk to. I love coming to the performances of Master Chorale. They're so amazing, and we look forward to the upcoming shows. And again, the Make Music or the show is November 20th with Jake online, and Home for the Holidays is December 20th, 2020. Is there anything else?
December 12th. So it's November 20th, this Friday at 7:30 p.m. and then 7 p.m. on Saturday, December 12th for Home for the Holidays.
Okay, thank you. I screwed that up in the last video.
You're good.
Thank you for correcting me. I screwed that up in the last one. So, is there anything else you wanted to cover that I didn't ask?
No, I don't think so. I guess I'll say very similar to the last time I was with you. I guess I will just communicate to anyone who's listening or watching this that this is a unique and in some ways scary time for arts organizations and in particular young artists. So if you're watching this, you're passionate about the arts and supporting the arts, please know that this is an integral time for you to step up to the plate. And if you have the ability to give, to volunteer your time, to support, or to do anything else for young artists who are in the business and just entering their career, or for cultural arts institutions like the Master Chorale of South Florida, know that it is necessary during this time. And it'll be certainly very appreciated.
Yes, it's crucial. We work with the Broward Center for the Performing Arts and Island City Stage and the Arts Center and Florida Grand Opera, the South Florida Symphony Orchestra, and all of those that are driven obviously by ticket sales and donors and all of those. This is a crucial time. The arts are absolutely crucial to our culture, crucial to keeping our culture alive and perpetuating it and really making us better people. We leave better people when people go to these concerts and go to these shows. And so this is crucial for us to step up to the plate, like you said, and it's time for people to do that. We appreciate what you do and the leadership. We were talking with Harold before that for the concerts, you have all of the music and all the rehearsals that you had before, and the technology now has tripled your work to put on the performances. So everyone has triple duty than they had before on even more limited budget. So we appreciate what all it takes to put on all of this. So Brett, we're going to put up we're going to put up your website again, Master Chorale, CHORALE of southflorida.org. And then we're going to put up your social media. As I've joked, it's your carrier pigeon and 2 cans on a string and all the other ways to find you: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And then Brett, if you can follow Brett's Measure by Measure show, it's really amazing. Sit down and learn more about classical music. We are outclique.com, OUTCLIQUE, and sign up for our list by texting OCQ to 22828. Brett, thank you so much. We look forward to more great things to come and great things to come in 2021. Everyone have a good afternoon.
Thanks so much, Stephen.
Thank you.